Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome to the very first episode of World Cannabis News, a cannabis enthusiast podcast about the culture, grow tips, edible recipes, news, events, and so much more. Brought to you by Nevada Uplifted, a cannabis enthusiast magazine, and Vegas 44 Marketing and Advertising. Located right here in the heart of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Jose, and I'll be your host for this podcast. Now, like we said earlier, this is our very first episode and we're happy and excited to have you. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep you updated on your latest cannabis news. Now, with that said, let's get right on to it. This one's coming right out of our hometown, so we're happy to announce that Nevada gives the okay for Amsterdam-style lounges. That's awesome. I've always wanted to go to Amsterdam but never been able to make it, so I'm glad to say that Nevada said, let's make that happen. Why? Because that's what we do. We regulate vices. At least that's what Senator Tig Sigerbloom said. He said we're inviting over 40 million tourists into our town and saying you guys can buy cannabis, but there's nowhere to smoke it. He said, hell no. He said we could turn this into Amsterdam on steroids. And I, for one, agree with him. I think that that business can be a multi-million, if not billion-dollar business here in Vegas, man. I mean, tourists already come here. That's going to be something they want to experience. I, for one, am glad they're making that happen. So Vegas, hey man, good job. Thanks, Tink. Thanks, Tick. Good job. Now, on to our neighbors in Utah. It seems Utah also seems to understand the importance in cannabis. Well, at least one senator does. Last week, Senator Orrin Hatch asked the feds to allow medical marijuana research in Utah. He believes that they can benefit from that. So he asked the Senate floor to introduce his bill. A bill he's sponsoring called the Marijuana Effective Drug Study Act of 2017. This is a proposal which he first signed on to last year that focuses on removing the bureaucratic red tape over regulations that he feels impedes the research into the drug's potential medical uses. That's awesome. There's tough activists out in Utah that already feel that there's been enough research done throughout the country that they don't really need to do all of that. They can feel that their patients can start benefiting from the cannabis themselves as soon as possible. So I agree with that, man. That's definitely a step in the right direction. Way to go, Utah. That's awesome, man. Keep pushing forward, and soon them patients will be able to benefit from the cannabis. Now over to Texas, man. Move over oil. It seems cannabis is quickly taking over. We are proud to announce that Texas also released their first medical cannabis license to a company called Consortium Texas. They received the first medical cannabis license, and they're able to start distributing cannabis to medical patients out in Texas. We're also happy to announce that there's 2 more companies lined up to get their medical marijuana licenses here by the end of the month, and they'll be able to start distributing and selling cannabis to medical patients out there as well too. So that'll be 3 in Texas, and they're usually pretty conservative, so that's great. That's a step forward in the right direction, and we're proud of that. So good job, Texas. Keep it pushing. Keep going forward with that one. Now, while everyone might know Texas as the state that goes big or go home, this company out of California, they're doing it real big right now. They just received $27 million in funding for a new delivery service they want to roll out. The company's called Ease. Ease is moving into the recreational marijuana delivery service. They're already doing medical marijuana. They use a proprietary software to help consumers with medical marijuana licenses from the state buy and purchase cannabis, and then they deliver it to them, I guess for a minimal fee. That's how it would work. But they're already doing that now, and since California is going to be allowing deliveries for recreational cannabis here beginning of 2018, they want to be prepared with $27 million. That's a lot of money, man. They want to be prepared with $27 million. And now, mind you, they already got $24.5 million from venture capitals to start the original plan, which was the medical marijuana delivery. Now with an additional $27 million, they're going to go big with the recreational delivery. They're definitely banking on the fact that this is where the money's going to be. So that's what they're going with. And hey, good job, Ease. 24.5 mil and then $27 million. Good luck. We wish you guys the best. But you also have to understand that if a company like Amazon decides that they want to get into the cannabis delivery service, they're going to crush small startups like you guys. We wish you guys the best. And all of luck to you guys. Now, since we're on the topic of cash, let's move over to Hawaii. Hawaii says they're going to be the first state to go cashless in the cannabis industry to limit the risk of robberies and everything like that. Since as of right now, cannabis is still federally illegal, we all know there's a lot of banks out there that will not deal with dispensaries or cannabis-related companies. So there's a company out there called CanPay. It's an app. It's an application. It's a debit paying app. Again, it's called CanPay, a debit paying app that's stepping into the game to provide an alternative to cash-only transactions. It's partnered with Safe Harbor Private Banking, a Denver-based division out of Colorado Credit Union, which is lending compliant banking program that specializes in working with cannabis companies. So that's cool. Hawaii says they want to limit the risk of people getting robbed or cannabis or dispensaries getting robbed in cash transactions. So they're going to roll out this this program with this app called CanPay. If it's successful there, who knows? This might go nationwide or have the possibility of going nationwide. So it's something to look into, man. Something to definitely keep an eye out, and we'll definitely keep an ear out to this to see what develops from this. So now from Hawaii, man, let's talk about our nation's capital, who's very conservative. I mean, they don't, they're the nation's capital. It says here they might allow recreational pot here soon too. It says here, Washington's considering legalizing cannabis use for adults. That's going to be big. That's pretty much all we have so far. So World Cannabis News will follow these events closely and keep you guys posted on what's going on. But we hope they follow in Colorado's footsteps and make it happen. Like we said, man, there's a lot of states out there that are making big money off of this. $100 million a month. So definitely think Washington can benefit from this as well too. So, man, that's pretty good, Washington. Let's keep it pushing. Hopefully we can get recreational marijuana out there in Washington as well too. Now from Washington, let's go over north to our neighbors in Canada, man. We are called World Cannabis News, so let's keep it worldwide, right? With that said, Canada, it says here, Canadian marijuana producers said it will open up to 150 government-run pot stores and allow online purchases as the country gears up for legalization recreational sales in 2018. So that means that in 2018, look at that. In 2018, Canada is planning to go recreational, and they're going to open up 150 recreational government-ran pot stores. That's crazy. It says that this will all happen by 2020, and they'll have over 80 in the first year. So they're stockpiling cannabis out there in Canada. They say getting prepared for everything that's going on in 2018. So that's crazy to look into. Canada always has good buds. I'm surprised it hasn't been legal out there already. So with that said, we'll keep it pushing and keep an ear out to that story as well too. Now from Canada, we're gonna go over to China. China, that's crazy over there. But they've been quietly growing into a cannabis super powerhouse. It says it's that hemp brings in more than 10,000 yen. That's about $1,500 a hectare. whatever a hectare is. I guess it's like a square foot. So they're bringing in over $1,500 a square foot for people growing cannabis. Now that's still illegal out there, man. You know, growing cannabis out there is illegal. But as you know, China's been growing cannabis for a while now, for centuries, but mainly for the plant's strong use in fibers that can be turned into rope, fabric, paper, so on and so on. This has been going on in China for over 3,400 years, but apparently they think they might legalize it and try to benefit from it as well too. So who knows, it might go recreational here in China soon too. But like I said, as of now, everything in China is still illegal, so there ain't too much we know about that. From China we're going to go to Mexico. Mexico is saying that they legalized cannabis for recreational use as well too. Is that what it's saying? Oh no, not recreational, for medical use as well too. But there's a catch. There's a catch with the medical out there. They're only allowing up to 1% THC. So I guess it's mainly going for the CBD purposes of the cannabis, but that's great as well too. That's a step in the right direction. While it's still a small step in the right direction, it's a step, nonetheless, to an all faulty, drug system out there anyway. Their drug policy failed, so I'm not saying that it failed, but we know how that's rolling. So I mean, I guess we hit the United States, we hit Canada, we hit China, we hit Mexico. Now it's time for me to hit this bong, you guys. We hope you guys have a great time. We hope you guys were informed on this a little bit. Remember, this was our first one, so we're gonna grow and get better. We hope you stayed informed. Always remember, believe in yourself. Anything you dream of, you can achieve. You just have to go out there and try. That's my goal. That's why we're doing. That's my philosophy. You try it, you achieve it. That's why we got this podcast. Always believe in yourself and stay uplifted. Again, my name's Jose. World Cannabis News, Nevada Uplifted. See you guys soon, man. Thanks for the support.